But first I have to ask, who here, show of hands, knows what the term gaslighting means? I did this bit like a few years ago, and back then like nobody knew what gaslighting meant. If you don't know, it's from this 1944 movie called Gaslight, about a guy who tries to make his wife think she's crazy. And so now, when guys do that sort of thing, we say that they're gaslighting them. And I asked that question first of all because I think it's just kind of interesting that like a bunch of people are just getting a reference to a movie that's 75 years ago. But also I need you to know that so I can tell you the story about a friend of mine who was having trouble with the fuel indicator in her car. The little light that goes on when you're low on gas. It would go on even though she had a full tank of gas. When she was running out of gas, it wouldn't go on. She was at her wit's end, and I said, well, maybe your car is trying to make you think you're crazy. And she said, what? And I said, you know, maybe it's gaslighting you. And she said, what? Because this was like 5 years ago and nobody knew what gaslighting meant. And so I tell you this story to establish the fact that I am a funny person. And, you know, if you don't think that what I say is funny, maybe just give it a few years, and in the meantime, if you could laugh at it anyway, it would probably be less awkward for everyone involved. Do you ever do that? Do you ever like tell a joke where you say something like so arrogant or outrageous that you just assume that people are going to know that you're joking? I feel like it's a lot harder to do that these days because everybody's on the internet and they just see outrageous things all the time, so their barometer is just way too high for that. Like you see in the clickbait headlines, it's all about like things you won't believe. Oh, you won't believe what happens next. Like I saw this one headline, it said 48 sexy photos that you have to see to believe. And I was like, yeah, I would have to, wouldn't I? I mean, what's the alternative here? You just describe them to me and I go, no, I don't believe it, that's too damn sexy. So you read a headline that's like, you won't believe what this guy says, and then you read it and you go, I can't believe that guy said that, that's unbelievable. And then you hit share because you do believe it, because a friend of yours shared it to you, and you don't think that he would share it unless it came from a reputable source. He's probably doing his due diligence, right? Like I cited something from Wikipedia to a friend of mine once, and he's like, you believe Wikipedia? Wikipedia is so unreliable. And I said, who told you that? He's like, oh, a friend of mine said it. Like we do that, we give our friends the benefit of the doubt. If it's a stranger, if it's somebody we don't know, we're more than happy to think that person is just an insane idiot. And you know it, like let's say you're walking down the street, and you realize you've forgotten something. What do? Do you just change directions? No. When you realize you've forgotten something, you have to like snap your fingers or something, like you're fucking Sherlock Holmes, and you just solve the case. Oh, the murderer is back that way. I must get back to 221B Baker Street immediately. Actually, my girlfriend saw a guy who was walking down the street, and he just changed direction, and then he changed direction again, so that he could smack himself in the head and then finally go back in the other direction. Because apparently he forgot how to forget something. Because you do that, you put on that little show because you know that if you just change direction and somebody sees you, they're gonna go, did you see that guy? He just changed direction for no reason. What, he didn't like smack his forehead or snap his fingers? No, he just changed direction like some kind of broken robot. Right? Because we don't give strangers the benefit, even just for stupid little things, like, never mind people who come from like other countries and have whole other ways of doing things. Like you still hear people who talk about, oh, I got in a cab, and the cab driver was Middle Eastern, and I couldn't understand what he was saying, it's fucking foreigners. It's like, have you ever been to Newfoundland? It's like, that's where you're drawing the line. Like, there's people who have been in this country their whole lives, and I still don't understand what they're saying. Actually, I really feel like anybody who doesn't feel a debt to Middle Eastern people has just never tried to do math with Roman numerals. Because it's true, like our numbering system is based on the Hindu-Arabic numbering system. Like Roman numerals didn't even have zero. An Indian guy had to come up with and invent the idea of zero. I like to think that the guy who invented zero was like a really depressed nihilist, and one day he was like, I think nothing really matters. And his friends were like, yeah, we get it, life is meaningless. And he's like, no, I think nothing really matters. We should have like a symbol for it or something. What gets me actually more than racism is this idea of Gaydar, this idea that people have that they just like, that they can just sense who's gay because they're really well dressed or they're into musicals or something. Like, and it's weird because like we don't do that to other groups. Like a really racist person might think that all Asians know Kung Fu, but they don't think that everybody who knows Kung Fu is somehow a closeted Asian. Like you're never at the KFC with your light-skinned friend and you're like, hey, you really seem to like that fried chicken. Are you sure you're not black? No, you can tell me, I'm gonna censor these things. I've got really good black tar. You get into a lot of arguments with people. Anybody here like to argue with people?
Yes.
Okay, you and me. After this, dead. I try, because not everybody likes to argue. Some people don't like to argue. I try to respect that. But it's difficult because some people don't like to argue, but they really like to disagree with you. So, like, here's a tip. If you're in an argument and you don't want to be in it, just say, hey man, I don't want to argue about this. And then, and this is key, shut the fuck up. Don't immediately follow it with an arguable point, because then you're doing the thing that you're saying you don't want to do. Then if you do that, then you're basically saying, look man, I don't want to argue about this, I just want to win and be done with it. Or like, have you ever argued with someone and they run out of things to say and they just accuse you of overthinking things? As if thinking is only a good thing up to a point and then it leads you away from the truth. And like that point always just coincides with exactly how much they've been thinking about it. Having said that, I do overthink things way too much. I think about things a lot. I think about words a lot. Like the word splurge. Does anybody think that this is like an unnecessarily gross sounding word? Like I don't want to sound like an 80s era communist, but what kind of like decadent capitalist society comes up with a word like splurge for spending money? Like, oh, I just got my bonus check and I went and splurged on things. Like you're just ejaculating money on, I splurged on a steak dinner, I splurged on some new shoes, I just splurged on everything. Or like screwing. Like, when I was growing up, this really confused me. People would talk about, oh, they're screwing, he's screwing her. And I'm like, nailing I get. You know, if I'm like in a hardware store and you ask me to come up with a metaphor for sex, I'm going for the hammer and nails. Not so much the screwing, because like, where's the torque in this activity is basically my problem with it. I'm just a kid, and I'm like, I don't think this is gonna start spinning around. Am I just spinning her on top of me like a circus act? Like da 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 da. You get the idea. Or ukulele. I've been learning to play the ukulele, or ukulele, as it's pronounced by Hawaiians and douchebags. Because the ukulele is like an Americanized pronunciation of the name, but I like it because I feel like it's kind of the perfect Americanized pronunciation. Like I can really imagine the scene where like a mainland American goes to Hawaii and they're like, look, we've made this instrument based on Portuguese instruments. We call it the ukulele. The guy's like, a ukulele? Hey everybody, come check out this guy and his ukulele! Or think about the stuff that's printed on packages. It's kind of surreal when you like read a package and realize that like somebody intentionally wrote that, like a real human being. Like I was looking at this box of chicken chunks, which if you don't know is like chicken but in chunk form. And it had all these dips and sauces and things. And on the back in big letters it said, enhance your chunk experience. I really want to imagine this like Mad Men scenario where Don Draper is like, we have to get people to understand that chicken chunks aren't just a food, that they're an experience. Experience that can be enhanced.